Yeah, I enjoyed this movie too. I was saying me and my buddy Crumpus are not very religious, but I was like, again, towards the end. We're back.
Okay, we're back. Got cold in here.
Yeah, it is cold.
Yeah. So, welcome back to our last Christmas and Christmas holiday and holiday
movie.
A movie.
Yeah.
Susie's movie.
Yeah. So, the last movie is my movie. Save the best for last. No. Well, anyway, so my movie is the best Christmas pageant ever. And actually, this movie, Patty, was filmed in Winnipeg.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I've been there.
I wanted to pick a movie that really captured. Unlike these guys, I can't talk off the top of my head. So I wanted to pick a movie that really captured the Christmas spirit. So it took me a while to do it. And someone said,
"In Christmas in the Caribbean, wasn't it?"
Yeah, I tried that one because
Don't break my heart, Mike.
Yeah,
Don't break
it was
your
so
heart.
bad.
I'm gonna cut this.
I wanted something that really got that spirit. And I listened to a review of this movie, and the lady goes, "Well, it wasn't too Christian-y." Right?
So Susie jumped in on
I
that.
thought that was really funny. It was a very funny comment, but because I understand that Christmas is actually the birth of Jesus Christ. So that was it was funny that she said that. But anyways, I was tired of Santa being badass, kidnapped. I wanted a Christmas Carol type feeling, like a Miracle on 34th Street, or
Great movie.
yeah, it was a great movie, or
Gremlins. No.
No.
It's a Wonderful Life.
A
Wonderful
Wonderful
Life.
Life. Yes, movie like that.
Christmas Carol.
No.
So this is a small film directed by Dallas Jenkins and based on a novel by Barbara Robinson by the same name. It stars Judy Greer, which is so funny that your movie was Judy Greer. Do you know what I mean?
Barbara Robinson with the same name. What?
No, same name as the
Judy
book.
Greer was in this
The
also.
same name as the book.
Okay.
Right. Anyways, Beatrice Schneider, Molly Bell Wright, and Peter Holmes. But really, the stars of this movie are the children. The book was written in 1972, and when you watch the movie, it really feels like 1972. That's why I'm saying, when is this? Because it was made in 2000, but it didn't feel like 2000.
Right.
A small community of, it's got one school and it has kind of one church, is putting on its yearly Christmas pageant. It's the biggest event of the year, and this year is a very big year because people are coming from in the different areas to it. This year, the woman who usually puts it on fell off a ladder and broke both her legs, so she can't do it. So the mother, Judith Greer, Grace, she offers to do it. Everybody's like, "Oh, yeah, okay." Now, a lot of snooty church women feel she may not be up to the job.
Of course.
What has she ever done? That's what has she ever done? Also, back at the school, there's this family of kids. They're kind of like feral.
That's a good way of putting it. I'd say bad seeds, basically.
Yeah,
but
this is children. There's a family, and nobody's ever seen their parents, and they kind of run amok, and they kind of, they steal people's desserts, and they
They steal, they bully, they smoke.
The oldest daughter, Imogen, is the ringleader,
Right.
and she smokes a pipe, and these are very young children, So, and she's played by Beatrice Snyder, who's amazing in this. The girl. Anyways, So they're putting on this. She's the ringleader of the hooligans. No, yeah. So Beth's brother, Charlie, Sebastian Bingsley. Why do all these guys have 3 names? Sebastian Bingsley Rodriguez.
You're asking Bob Nick Shields?
I mean, in all the movies that I saw, all the guys have, as I say the names, they all have 3 names. Beth's brother. Who's Beth's brother? Oh, yes. He gets married. The family, that's the ruffian children. Their family is the Herdsmans. That's their name, the Herdsmans. And it's funny that the mother's name is Grace. But anyways, they steal the desserts, and he tells them about the pageant. So they one day, he says, there's lots of desserts there you can have. So they come. And they come to the church. And sure enough, there's a lot of desserts there. But this is where the trouble starts, when they come to the church, because the head of them, the hoodlum, Imogen, right, of the hoodlum family, she sees Mary, and she decides that she should be Mary.
In the nativity play.
In the pageant.
Right.
She needs to be Mary. And people are like, so that's kind of where it starts. And that's where everything kind of happens. This family takes over the school pageant, but they become enamored with the story. Like, this is really kind of an interesting story. They're like really curious. So, and they're really pissed off. It's like, well, why was Herod want to kill that? That's terrible. They shouldn't be doing that. Right. So it's really funny that way. It's like, but this is the most sweetest story. And I have to tell you, I was like, I will just start crying. It's just so sweet. Anyways, that's basically the idea. And I love the movie.
I think you saw it. I never
She didn't
saw
see it.
Oh, okay.
Your turn, Lon.
This will be a short segment.
I actually did enjoy this movie too, and I was surprised because when Patty had suggested, I said, "No, it's like I've never heard of this film." And I said, "Oh, who's this director, Dallas Jenkins?" So I look it up, and he happened to be a Christian director. And that's when George, I think, got back to said, "Well, Susie said it's not really supposed to be Christian-y according to review." Well, I disagree with that. This movie is very Christian-y, but this is one of the reasons I do like it, because this is what's missing out of Christmas with the Cranks. The mention of Jesus, the reason we have Christmas.
Christmas, right.
I always thought this was important. This is the only reason I think that Charlie Brown's Christmas is truly very special, because they address
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important that people have to realize, okay, yeah, I realize, getting the tree and presents and Santa and everything is exciting, but it's a holy day.
Right.
So I always appreciate, I'm not a Christian myself, and I probably can honestly say I'm not really a believer in, say, Jesus or God or things like that. But I always respect it, because I always respect people's religious beliefs, only because I'm sort of fascinated that they have this belief. And Christmas is obviously, in my opinion, I think one of the biggest religious holidays in the world.
Absolutely.
That it's literally celebrated around the world.
I believe.
So when I see something like in a small town, they're putting on a little Christmas pageant, I thought, oh, okay, this is probably going to be like a Hallmark movie, and it was.
Oh, that's nice.
But and it's funny because I actually happened to go to the theater, and then Susie and George happened to be there too.
Yeah,
So
that was funny.
We actually talked after the movie, and Susie was tearing up even after
Yeah.
when
But
remembering certain
Tears
things.
up and everything.
But
No, but it really
even
is.
I will admit that because of the cast, and you're right, I think that Beatrice Schneider playing Imogen, who's the oldest sister. Now, the one thing that she has is she's sort of like the gang leader.
Of course.
All the rest of her younger siblings fall into play. And there's even a younger sister who's apparently like the monster maniac. Like you don't know, you like don't even make eye contact with her kind of thing.
She plays the angel.
Even the adults.
Well,
even
that's the
adults.
thing, that they all decide they're going to play parts in it. And I told them this too when I saw this, and I think it's true that well, what is it? Oh my God, what was the movie I said about the one about Margaret? Are You There,
Oh,
God?
yeah, Margaret, yeah.
Right.
Are you there?
That's what this movie sort of reminded
Yeah,
me
you
of. And
said
that's
that.
why I was touched by this movie too, because these two girls in it, because you're right, I think the one playing Beth Bradley, this Molly Bell Wright, they are both excellent in it because they're both coming from a different perspective, and yet they come to a really mutual bond at the end of the movie. That's the Christmas magic, but I claim the real magic is the young kids who, like you said, they're feral, they're horrible. Everyone in town knows these are horrible children, which is why it's sort of funny because some of the drama that comes up is the parents are saying, you can't have them in the pageant. Right? And it's like, and then the mother gets almost sort of bullied by her peers saying, no, the pageant has to be this. The director, she's still trying to direct the pageant even though she has 2 broken legs, saying, no, we want this, this, and this. They want a traditional pageant.
Right.
And I give it to Judy Greer's, her character, that she says, well, no, we want something different. And I love the fact that her daughter backs her up on that. That the daughter sees what her mother's going through. And you almost admire it because at one point, Emma Jean is actually pretty horrible to her daughter, Beth. And it's like, okay. But again, I think Bob's right about the predictability. You sort of know what's going to happen at the end. But even as I saw it coming in, I was even tearing up at the ending because I thought, this really does hit you in the Christmas spirit.
I love that.
Now, here's the weird part. I can see a lot of people not liking it because they think it's too corny, it's too this. But to me, if you want any Christmas type of movie, this is it. This is the kind of Christmas movie that I really appreciate because it celebrates everything that Christmas should be.
Yes.
In my opinion.
That's why I really love the movie, is because it was like those ruffians, they actually got the spirit of Christmas.
Right.
They, even when they took the gift they didn't think that the gifts that the wise men brought were very good gifts.
Right.
So they brought
A ham.
a ham. Jesus, a Jewish kid.
Don't tell me I'm going to watch it.
I'm just like,
But-
I just thought that was so great because it's not about what you give.
It's the
It's
spirit.
about that you give.
Spirit of
Right.
giving.
You know,
But
they just
the
have
value you
they're
have-
hungry.
Because the thing is, the value that things that they gave had to them because you
Right.
saw it in them, right?
Yeah.
You immediately, it's like, and even stuff, like you said, throughout the whole time things, there's like, okay, we have to be more Christian. You know, the mother's
Right.
the mother, and then the father's getting in the same thing, and then, like I
The
said, the
father was
daughter,
wonderful.
daughter's really just like backing the mother, and Lily confronts Emma Jane, which I love that scene where it's like, she's doing everything for you. How can you behave the way you're doing it?
Yeah.
So all that stuff I
wanna
thought
hear the
fell into
ending.
such place. The ending, I think, like I said, you'll know what the ending is. I think you really will, but because you're hoping
It doesn't really
you're
matter,
hoping it's
yeah.
that because, like I
good.
said, the feeling that you have when you watch this movie, it's like, hopefully at the end of the movie, you're going to be touched by this because I think this is what, like I said, this is what Christmas should be.
Well, good.
Completely.
Yeah, I enjoyed this one too. I was saying me and my buddy Crumpus are not very religious, but I was like, again, towards the end, it's very emotional movie.
Yeah.
The
Good,
movie,
I love
the
them.
movie is really about, again, like the spirit of, like the cranks and the light off, about the spirit of Christmas, not about but people always want to make it. They
Right.
get so rigid, but it's really about the spirit, and the children show that it's about the spirit, which I think is great. I think the movie, the beginning of it, is right. It's very hallmarky.
Yeah.
At the beginning, when I
Yes.
first started, in the beginning of it, I was like, I would say for the first maybe 20 minutes of it, I was like, ooh, it's very religious. But then we started getting more, you kind of get into it, it gets mellow, and then you don't notice it. To me, it felt like, okay, it's more secular. Secular people can watch it. It's in the beginning, it feels that way, but then it kind of goes. But then they do every once in a while throw that at you. So the children, because they're bullies and they bully everybody, they bully the main characters.
They bully the teachers.
Yeah, but the adults are afraid of them. It's so funny. It's classic because the adults are afraid of them. They're like, oh. So the girl Molly, her brother.
Molly's the daughter of.
Molly's the daughter, but her brother
Grace.
he gets bullied. He gets his dessert taken by one of
The boys.
One of the boys. One of the what's their names?
The herdsmen.
One of the
One of
herdsmen.
the herdsmen.
So he tells him, well, why don't you go to church? They have tons of desserts and everything. And that's why he's like, really? Yeah, it's free. So he's like, decide, okay, now we're going to go to church. And that's what gets the feral kids into church. And once they're in church, they start finding out about, they're there just really for the food, for the desserts. And they start getting taught about the whole nativity and Christmas and everything. And then, and they're very curious. So I thought the movie's very clever to bring you the story by teaching it to the children. You're learning a lot for those who are not very religious or anything, people who don't know why by the story, but it really gives you a way to tell you the story by them, because the kids are so curious and they want to know about it. So they're being taught the story. So they're like, oh, and they ask questions. And they ask really good questions, actually. They ask questions that, when you go, well, that doesn't make sense. And you go, yeah, that's right, that doesn't make sense. So it's very clever that way, too, that certain things don't make sense. Well, why would they put him there? Why not get a hotel or something? and the three wise men, why did they bring this stupid thing? Why didn't they bring food? So they make really clever questions, clever observations about it. So I think the movie was really good that way about making those kind of observations about the story. I thought and then of course Imogen, who's the girl, you can tell she wants to be an actress. That's the thing where they sneak into the movie theater. Like,
well, that's how they get her in there. They get the kids in there. They tell them, like in the movies.
Well, yeah, but first,
like the movies.
Well, no, that's how they get into the play. Like, yeah.
Right.
They go into church because there's candy, but they get into the play because Imogen loves the movies. They have a scene where they go into a theater and they get a fight, and of course the ticket guy gets to the fight, and all of them sneak in. So they're doing it, but she's just looking at the poster, and you can tell she wants to be an actress. So because she hates her life, and when you become an actress, you're living a different life. You're something else.
Yeah, you're gonna be somebody else.
And she wants to be somebody else, but she hates who she is. So very, very touching. So of course now that she figures I want to be an actress, and they have this play. Well, I'm in it, and nobody's gonna who's gonna take my part? Not me. So it's pretty good that way too.
And that's like one of the fun scenes is basically when they have to cast the play.
And they cast the play, and all the parents are there like, raise your hand, Billy. Right. Nope. I don't want to get my ass kicked.
So it comes out on the 27th. I'm gonna watch
it's so funny.
it.
So of course, I mean, because I'm they're gonna get cast as the it's just a trailer. So because everybody's afraid of them, they get cast. The whole family gets cast, as well as the all the kids too. The main girl that we follow, Beth, who's the girl that we follow, who's Judica's daughter, and Pete Holmes, who he's really funny. I'm surprised he didn't get more.
Father.
He reminds me of John Ritter. So a lot of times, and I thought
or Tim Allen.
Yeah, he's got more John Ritter because he's kind of very likable, very kind of
right.
Jovial, more lighthearted,
really nice guy,
easygoing.
Exactly.
But you can tell he's a very nice guy. I thought he could have more lines in it, but very supportive kind of father. So, of course, they're gonna go in the play. But I was gonna say, so I did that. What was I going with this? I was gonna say, So I think this movie, not being released at all. I think this. I would personally put it up there with as a mandatory
Christmas movie.
Yeah. Along with Love Actually, and
you make it interesting to want to watch.
Yeah, it's just very. I mean, it's really good. It's funny. But it's very, and the kids make the movie. I say, if these kids were not good actors, the movie would suck. But they are such good little actors. I was really good about that. So it should become a holiday classic. It's just, I thought it was really good.
I can't wait to see
I really
it.
enjoyed
Actually.
it.
Yeah, I think in the Midwest, this is going to just do so well.
And it's doing really well because
there's only three of us, three of you.
That's right. The only reason that I thought the thing about the ham was like, it was so perfect.
Yeah.
It was like,
I don't want to hear it.
the reason that it's so, believe me, it's not a big deal in the movie. Nobody makes a big deal of it.
No.
But remember,
and they certainly don't have a scene about it in a Hebrew Hammer.
No, nobody.
It's also,
exactly my point.
But again,
Jesus is a Jewish child.
But the movie's about the spirit again.
And because
Christians have co-opted him.
They give the Christmas gift they got as a family gift from the neighborhood, the Christmas thing, was ham, right? A ham, a great big ham. So they decide they're going to give it to the baby Jesus. And I just thought that was so amazing. And because Jesus would have got that.
Yeah.
Right. That's their goal.
And another thing I really liked about this movie that I like about this type of movies is when they have the now I forgot the show that I used to watch back in the 80s, where you have an adult narrating.
Oh,
Wonder
sure, like
Years?
Wonder Years.
This is like the Wonder Years.
Yes.
Where you
Yeah.
have,
No, very much
where you
so.
have the
yes.
young girl, like Kevin in Wonder Years.
Right.
Well, it's
As an adult narrating the movie. Let me tell you what happened when I was a kid.
yeah.
Right.
Right.
And she narrates the movie, so I love when they do that too.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought this.
Found it.
I thought this was. I guess it'll be long.
Yeah,
Yes,
no.
I gave this a 7.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No, for this movie, I'll give it a 10.
I give it a 10. Yeah.
I definitely want to see this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, gee, now I've
That's it.
lost all my
Have
spots.
a Merry Christmas.
Oh yes.
And a holly jolly one too.
Holly,
Now
holly,
I've lost
jolly.
all my pages.
And Hanukkah is falling on the 25th.
You should have a wonderful
Yeah,
Hanukkah.
nice,
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
You invite
So-
your family. You have a great time.
Happy Hanukkah.
And Kwanzaa, happy Kwanzaa to everyone who
Happy-
celebrates
It'll be like
Kwanzaa.
happy
Just wait
Hanukkah and happy
so-
Kwanzaa.
This
And happy
ends.
winter solstice.
Hold on.
I would say this ends our Christmas feast of films. We hope you will watch some of them and give us your feedback. So wish you all a Merry Christmas,
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
Holidays,
Yes.
Happy Hanukkah. Don't give Santa macaroons.
Yeah. Bye-bye.